On Taste of Anime Afterthought, Jujutsu Kaisen, Episode 5, Curse Womb Must Die, Part 2. Now this is the part of the manga where I went, holy crap, this is something I honestly never saw coming. Like, who is gonna throw this at the very beginning of the story? I was like, what is going on? I can't stop right now, I gotta read a tad bit more. Now, last we left off, remember our first years came face to face with literal death in the form of the Cursed Womb, a special grade curse that usually takes the power equivalent of a firebombing to take down. Well, how do you fight a monster with another monster? It just so happens they have one at their disposal, or at least they think they do. As Fushiguro and Nobara head out, Yuji unleashes Sukuna, and well, the display he puts on against this other special grade curse really goes to show you he is the king of curses. So with the Cursed Womb defeated and the mission over, it's time to switch back. Yuji, hello? Ending out last week's episode with that devilish grin on Yuji's face. Unfortunately, Sukuna still in control. And this is where we pick up today's episode. Sukuna has made some grand declarations when it comes to his revival. From cowling the women and children that seem to plague this new era, to slaughtering the Jujutsu sorcerers. And it looks like he'll be choosing the latter. Now, meanwhile, at this time, Fushiguro is still standing guard, feeling responsible for the ongoings inside, when he notices the Cursed Womb's domain disappears. This is it, Yuji must have done it. But before he can even breathe a sigh of relief, standing right behind him is Sukuna. And this is where we get one of the most badass scenes I've seen so far. See, Sukuna likes being in control. It's been a while since he's had a physical form, and he's just not ready to give it up yet. But given Yuji's tenacity, it's only a matter of time before he regains control. So with the unthinkable in mind, Sukuna plunges his hand into his chest, ripping out Yuji's still beating heart. This is nothing for a curse like myself, but for poor little Yuji, it's a death sentence. And trust me, I saw the way he was acting inside versus the Cursed Womb. He's terrified of dying. He'll never come back and sacrifice himself. But Fushiguro is quick on the uptake. He notices something interesting. Yuji's hand, the one that the Cursed Womb had severed, has returned. It's regenerated. So yes, while Sukuna could live without a heart, it must be dealing some type of pain. So given enough time, I'm pretty sure I can force him to regenerate it. Still reeling from the feel of the Cursed Womb, it's up to Fushiguro to buy that time. And this is where we get a one-on-one battle between Sukuna, who has now devoured the finger from the Cursed Womb, versus Fushiguro. And honestly, I was impressed with his moves so far, but you're going against the King of Curses, and it's just not enough. I'm sorry, you're not Gojo-senpai. Easily able to dodge not only him, but his Shikigami, completely destroying his White Snake Orochi, then proceeds to throw Fushiguro what I can only guess is several miles away. Fushiguro is well aware of the difference in power. For fear of another one of his Shikigami being destroyed, he releases the summoning on the bird. Now, Sukuna seems to have taken an interest in this ability. It's not your typical Shikigami summoning that uses talismans or the sword. He's actually summoning them through the shadows. Once again, reiterating, man, that's talent, that's skill, but you're just not putting enough curse energy into it. Didn't I tell you that before? But even though these two are on completely different levels, Fushiguro's determination and resolve has not been swayed in the least. As he's welling up his cursed energy, we get a little bit more information on him. It seems there's a lot going on with his family. A sister, his father. I haven't been paying attention, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time they mentioned his first name, which is Megumi. This little flashback gives us an insight into his resolve, his reason for being a Jujutsu sorcerer. The only thing in this world that is guaranteed is how unfair it truly is, whether you're good or evil. So if I have the power, I'll make sure that I will unequally save those who are good. And this kind of gives us a little more information back when him and Yuji were fighting over the corpse they found, the son of the crying mother. It was a true clash of ideals, and we see why he was so adamant on not helping him. Like, this guy ended up killing a person. He's technically evil. Why would I try to save someone like that? Like I said, he is steadfast in his resolve. As the curse energy is welling up, it looks like he's gonna go in for an all-out attack when he stops, now as if talking to Yuji directly. Don't worry, it's not your fault. I saved you of my own accord. And this seems to break the curse. Yes, Yuji has returned, but unfortunately, his body is still without a beating heart. Yuji Itadori has died. Now, besides Sukuna so far, we haven't seen really any kind of sentient or higher functioning curse curses. And this is our first little bit as we see presumably a jujutsu sorcerer roaming the streets with 3 presumably special grade curses, and they're kind of having a very interesting conversation. They're talking about the boss and their plans to swap positions with human, as in curses are the true pure beings, because in negative feelings there are no such things as lies. They are honest, therefore they are pure. Now all the meanwhile, some interesting interactions are going on. First and foremost is the Jujutsu morgue, where the body of Yuji is, and Ijichi is telling Gojo about what happened, and Gojo is probably one of the best senpai characters ever. As he's going over this, he is enlightening the man who basically sent those 3 to a potential death. See, the quote-unquote higher-ups, well, they may have planned for all of this to go down. It was through the acts of Gojo that he got Yuji's execution almost indefinitely postponed. And even if the potential was low of this thing becoming a special grade, they wanted to take this opportunity to not only kill off Yuji, but it would be another dig at Gojo if his other students were to die too. And as he's sitting there contemplating what to do, I swear to God, I love when he says, maybe I should just go fucking kill all the higher ups. This shocks Ijichi, which is fucking hilarious. Like, to have a senpai like that, like when the mortician walks in and begins to, you know, question Gojo, like, oh, seems you really like this kid. I've never seen you this upset. Because I fucking love my students. So honestly, if you want to get on Gojo's bad side, just fuck with the students. Like, that's all you have to do. But it looks like, yeah, Yuji's on the chopping block, and she's almost licking her lips at this point to try to uncover the mysteries behind Sukuna's vessel. Now, another interesting interaction is with the remaining first years, as Fushiguro and Nobara are trying to play tough at what just transpired. Nobara going as far as, why would I even care about a guy I met 2 weeks ago? We can see that she's visibly upset, and Fushiguro is too. They really are in a sense of mourning. So what do you want someone to come in? Yeah, joke about fucking death, as we see a second year show up asking what's all the doom and gloom about, and a giant panda in the background saying, hey, by the way, the other first year really did fucking die, and the look on her face. Oh, this whole interaction, it's leading to something good though. More jujutsu sorcerers, as we see the second years are super fucking interesting, and we're still missing one of the characters. Not only that, but there is a second sister school that we're gonna get some more sorcerers coming from. There's a basically school versus school event, and because of the third years being expelled, they need some extra bodies. And Nobara and Fushiguro are looking at this as a training opportunity. Like, yes, we'll do it. We have to become stronger, with a vision of Yuji going through the minds, like, but you know what, we'll cut and run if this shit, I don't feel this shit is gonna, you know, make me stronger. Rounding out this episode, we finish up the conversation between the sorcerer and the curses, and it looks like I said they want a flip-flop society. They want, you know, the curses to be they are the true beings, and well, if they're gonna wage a war, it looks like they have 2 requirements they must meet. First is take out the strongest jujutsu sorcerer, Gojo senpai. Second, you have to get Yuji and Sukuna on your side. And the cursed is actually quite confused. Didn't Yuji Itadori just die? Well, just because you die doesn't mean you're dead, as we are left with a vision of Sukuna standing on a pile of dead bodies as he speaks to someone we can't see. Oh, shit's getting good. Honestly, we are so close to where I left off. I'm just biting my nails. Like, I want to keep going. I want to see where the story goes, because I know what's gonna happen next, but after that, everything is up in the air. Like, oh god, like today's episode, so badass. I knew it was coming. I knew he was going to plunge his own hand to pull out his heart, but to actually see it come to fruition, like, oh, Yuji. Like, this episode really truly is developing a lot of characters. Not only do we get a little bit more backstory on Fushiguro and his family, as well as his, you know, his reason, his resolve. They've expanded upon, you know, the actual sorcerers. We get more characters. We get the second years. We get this mysterious other sorcerer with the curses. They're expanding upon the curses themselves. We learn that there's actually a sister school. There's gonna be an event between the two. Like, honestly though, like, that first part was just delightful, but I want to say the thing that's sticking with me most is Gojo, what he said to Ijichi, and just, should I kill the higher ups? Like, I'm really contemplating that. Like, Motherfucker, I bet you can do it too. I fucking bet you can do it. I'm excited. I'm so fucking excited. Like I said, I think one more episode, given how much they've been putting into each one, I'll finally be to a point where I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm excited. I'm fucking excited because I've been dying to continue this series. Like I have the manga in my carts just ready to go. Like, because I know if I got them, I'd fucking read them. Seriously, just fucking wow. What do you guys think? Did you guys like today's episode? What do you think about the curses and their plan to, I don't know, usurp humans? Like, what do you think of this, you know, school versus school little battle event thing? Like, just let me know. I want to talk some jujutsu. So with all that being said, and more next week, I honestly cannot wait for future episodes.